Good morning, class, and welcome to your virtual course, Math 45S. My name is Dr. Arepur, or you can call me Dr. A. I had sent several emails over the course of past couple of weeks, asking you to explore the course. Here's the home page of Canvas. And when you go to home page of Canvas, I've set it up so it'll be easy to follow by numbers. Number one, there is a short welcoming message that simply welcomes you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here, and I hope we have a wonderful semester together. Number two is the class philosophy. Let's look at that, everybody. So you can see my email address, everybody, here. mrapur@lbcc.edu, and normally I reply very fast, less than 24 hours from Monday to Friday. Going back to the home page of Canvas. Number three, called the announcements, and I'm going to put this in a student mode. Under the announcements, these are the announcements that have been sent to you, and it has welcome and orientation, recorded orientation, and there were a couple of emails welcoming you to the course. This has been sent to students over the course of past 2 weeks. When more emails are sent to you ultimately about the exams and other pertinent information, they will be also found under the announcements. Going back to the home page. Number four, and I'm going to spend some time on that, but in short, number four, the syllabus and the modules. Now, before I go over that with more details, I want everybody to pay attention to two things. Number one, at the bottom of the homepage right here, this meeting is the office hours. This Zoom meeting is not the class meeting. And it pretty much indicates office hours. It gives you the time, okay? It gives you the Zoom meeting URL. However, to attend all class meetings, you have to go with Tech Connect Zoom. On the left navigation bar here, if you click on that, it will let you join. See if it works now, because sometimes it doesn't. So basically you join. And I mentioned that because I don't want any mix-up between the two. So anytime you want to attend the class, Tech Connect Zoom on the left side if you want to attend the office hours. You can find it here also. It's in the syllabus. Now, under number 4, there are a few things we want to look at. The first one is the syllabus. You can look at the syllabus right here, everybody, or on the left navigation bar right here. So we have two things here. We have the Excel calendar, which basically gives you the sections that we need to cover, the date of the exams. And there are a couple of assignments, an introductory assignment to my Open Math and Algebra review coming up. So we have this calendar. And of course, the actual syllabus, which is pretty long. And I've put it in a format that you can pick a subject to learn more about. So, because I know it's getting way too long, nowadays the syllabi, and sometimes students don't read the whole thing, I'm going to spend a couple of minutes going over the entire syllabus. But if you want to go back anytime, you can go to a specific topic. For example, you may be interested in just the dropping policy or the grading policy, or you name it. So it starts with the information about the course, time, course catalog, student learning outcomes, text. Now I will show you this text again when we go to my Open Math where we do our homework. The text is by OpenStax and it's free. And the online assignments is done through my Open Math. It's a digital platform which is also free. Here's a class calendar. You're already here. This part, again, you can find it in that Excel calendar also here. But I want you to notice, all exams take place on Saturday. The final, however, takes place on the last day of class, okay? There will be no proctorio exam. My assumption is everybody is here to learn. And so on Monday of that week, you receive an email/announcement. For any reason you missed that, and you shouldn't, you should really pay attention to your emails, you can go to the announcements. So this email has the information about the exam. So from the time that you receive the email, you can take the exam. But it expires at 11:59 p.m. normally on Saturday, except the last one, as I mentioned, the final. There is no proctorio, as I mentioned, and the reason is very simple. I believe everybody is here to learn. We don't need to have a proctorio. And there will be more information and instruction as to how to take the exam and so forth. So you don't have to worry about it at this point. Information about the meeting. Calculators, you need a graphing calculator, and you can use online calculators. There are certain exams that you may not be able to use a calculator, especially a graphing calculator during the exam. We have the information about the tech support, Math Success Center, which is the tutorial center, and there are other helpful websites. Grading policy, everybody. Online homework is worth 200 points. We have the quiz specifically for the support part. It's 100 points. 4 tests, 100 points each. And the final exam, 300. The total would be 1,000 points. It's a point system. 90% and above is considered an A, so it's easy to see 900 to 1,000. 80% and above, that means 800 to 899 is B, so on and so forth. You basically receive an email about a week in advance. So you have a week to decide which day you want to take the exam. There is no makeup exam. If something comes up and you have a proper documentation, I will give you a makeup. You must take all the exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade among the first 4 exams before the final may be replaced by the final exam if the final score is 80% or higher, homework is 95% or higher, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. Now, if you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 point for that particular exam, and it will not be dropped or replaced. So you don't want to miss any of the exam. The course late work, there is a possibility for late work and late pass as far as your homework assignment is concerned with a 10% deduction. I highly recommend you avoid that because on a normal basis and based on my experience, students who use a late pass, they have a hard time catching up. And then there are more informations here. And this is important to me for everybody to follow, called CSULB Study 36. That indicates students need about 3 times the number of units per week for a 16-week semester to be successful. So therefore, it means what? We need 15 hours per week for this course because it's a 5-unit course. The dropping policy basically indicates that if you miss the orientation or the first assignments or any of the exams, one may be dropped. Then we have more useful websites such as DSPS and financial aid, and I hope everybody pays attention to those. The summary steps to success: in short, you want to study the PowerPoints, do the homework, and watch the video lectures embedded in homework set in MyOpenMath. I'll show you when we get to MyOpenMath and the homework that you see that you have video lectures within the homework as well. Study the practice test and get ready to take the exam. As far as the communication is concerned, this is posted on the homepage of Canvas, the office hours. You're more than welcome to stop by if you have any questions. More information coming your way. And this one I want to also mention. They call it Netiquette for Online Learning. In short, the bottom line is whether you're taking an online course or not, it's ultimately the same thing. The guideline is that we really have to be professional, courteous. We have to use the proper spelling and grammar. And this is really, this says it all, positive tone. Always you want to be positive towards one another. So also when you write an email, it's very important that in the subject line, you put the course and the section number you're in. Otherwise, I don't know which course you're talking about, okay? Make sure you do that. So that's the syllabus, everybody. And going back to the homepage of Canvas, the next thing is modules that basically has the homework, exams, and everything. But before I continue with that, on the left navigation bar or even right here, the discussion, I want to look at 2 things. I want to look at the discussions, Math Success Center before I do that. So here's the first one. What do you find there? Here's the student bios and the discussion forum. And I have mine as a sample. I think it'd be wonderful if you write yours and your fellow students get to know you. If you want to um, have a comment for them, make sure you leave a very positive comment for your fellow students. Frequently asked questions. Before you send the question, please read this. There are a bunch of questions in the past that have come up, and I put them here. For example, how to use a math editor. The other one is a course ID. There is no need for a course ID when you add through Canvas, when you add the digital platform, My Open Math, to your account through Canvas. I'll show you in a moment. And so on and so forth. Another one which comes up often, please read those, is where to find the exam password. I just mentioned it, and I'm going to mention it again. Basically, it will be emailed to you. If you miss that, just go to the announcements and look for that announcement. It has the same name, Exam 1. Has the information about Exam 1, the number of questions, the password, and so on. Okay, Exam 2, the same thing. So that's the discussion forum, everybody. And of course, this is a student hangout forum that if you want to work together and work on some practice test assignments, by all means. I want to go back to the home page. And there is basically this Math Success Center. On the left navigation bar, when you click on that, okay, I think it may be that it's hard to, okay, it was pretty hard to bring it up. There were a lot of visits. A quick explanation about this. Here's the Math Success Center, which is the tutoring center. They have their hours mentioned here, right here. They are adding virtual front desk. This is pretty new. They have the Discord. They have the services, which means tutoring for math, for stats. Also, they have free calculator loan. Okay. But of course, based on the first come, first serve. They also have a net tutor is also free. The guidelines that I was explaining, free walk up or drop in. So please check this out. They have a boot camp for various courses. And the bottom line is it's a tutoring center which is free. I highly recommend you utilize those. All right, going back to the home page now. Now the next thing I want to look at is the modules right here or on the left navigation bar under the syllabus, it reads modules. So first, what do we find there? And then we will look at it. At the very top, everybody, at the very top, you find this one. This is 2025 Spring Math 45. This is the digital platform, My Open Math. If you have an account, you have a username and password, click it and sign. If you don't, you make up one by just following the instruction and filling up the blanks and create an account. That's why you don't need a course ID, and it takes you to My Open Math. I'll come back to this in a moment. The next one is the recorded practice test. The next one is support topic for Math 45S. And I'm going to look at both of them in a moment. Coming down, exam 1 module, week 1, 2, 3. Exam 2 module, week 4 to 7, and so on. Exam 3 module, exam 4, and this is module 5, which will be part of the final. When we cover any of those modules, you will learn how they are conducted, very similar. So I'm going to look at just module 1. Before I do that, I want to look at the last one. The last one is the information about TI calculator. So what do we have here? We have the information about TI calculator command, also the information about the TI calculator itself, and just send this up, and some online calculators. If you follow the instruction here, it would be possible to get this emulator, okay? Sometimes you can make this work. By that, I mean, if you get to this calculator, it will work, no questions asked. Sometimes you can make, if you follow the instruction here, you can make it work and you can download it into your calculator. Sometimes it doesn't work. What works for sure is the list of the online calculator resources that I put for you here, and it's all free, okay? Then we have the basic commands. And of course, you can always look up more commands. These are some of the commands that we need as we go through the course. I will mention it again. So TI calculator commands, and as I said, online calculators and resources. So the very last module is a resource. If you feel you don't need it because you know the commands, you have a calculator, so be it. So I want to go with the very first module, exam 1 module, right here. We start with this. Let me just close this up so I have enough room. So we start with the practice test. And one may ask, why do we start with the practice test exam review? All I want you to do is to read this for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, okay, later on, just to have an idea what is the synopsis of coming your way as far as the first exam is concerned. The next one, so first we have the practice test. The next one, the lecture PowerPoints would be the lecture PowerPoint. So if you click on any of them, you can open it. You can download it, and you can, if you put that in slide mode, you don't see the entire page. For example, you get to an example, you just see the example and then step-by-step solution. If you don't put it in slide mode, the entire page shows up. So we have the PowerPoints. And the next one is the key to practice test. So the same questions that we had, now we have the key to them. And the idea is that you, when you go through the PowerPoints, through the lectures, maybe you do 1 or 2 questions of this practice day per day. So the week of exam, you'll be more than ready to tackle the actual exam. So I'm going to go back to this. So under the modules, for now, you just want to be concerned with this exam one module, which has the practice test, PowerPoints, the key to practice test, and what is this one? Recorded lectures, practice test, exam reviews. The very first one, and the rest of them are uh, from previous semesters. The very first one has those PowerPoints that you saw with detailed information and step-by-step explanation for each section, as well as practice test. Remember, over here we have the practice test. Over here we have the PowerPoints. Over here we have the key to the PowerPoints. And now we have all those PowerPoints explained step by step, and all those practice tests solved step by step, recorded. So just this one, the very top one, under the modules, just this one has everything you need. If you follow those recorded videos, you'll be more than ready for the exam. It does have the lectures, and it does have the practice test, exam reviews, whatever you want to call it. What is the next one? This is support topics for Math 45S / intermediate algebra. These are where you can find information or prior knowledge to Math 45. If for any reason you need that, you want to explore that. So we have, again, over here, if you start with module 1, it does give you various PowerPoints, sections, section PowerPoints. And it does have the practice test here, okay? So there is a lot of, and again, module 1, this is module 1 for the support, for the, intermediate algebra in essence. However, if you don't need all of them, you can just look at this. Practice test number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. This practice test are the information that basically pertain to the support part, or in essence, intermediate algebra. And then, so that would be probably the best. And this is the same as before, but this time is the practice test solution step by step. So you can find the practice test solution step by step. These are the stuff for the support, prior knowledge of to Math 45. So in essence, we are looking at intermediate algebra. Okay. A quick recap. I want to make sure we understand and we distinguish between these two. This one is for the current course. This one is for the support. In case anybody needs them, I highly recommend you use them. And also, I'll show you more support when we go to my open math. All right. I think we have explained enough. The last thing is to look at the homework exams and so forth. And again, you have to go back to modules. The very first one, as I showed you, everybody, the very first one, you register with my open math. Okay. Now, After you register with my OpenMath, it'll take you there, and this is your digital platform where you do all your assignments. At the very top, you see the introductory assignment to my OpenMath. And this has to be done, has to be started today, and has to be done today. I'll go over that later on. The next one is algebra review. The next one is exams. I'm gonna, this is expanded. I'm gonna close it up. But the reason I put it at top, in case when the time comes, I don't want anybody to have a hard time finding. Then, welcome to college algebra. It's description. Now, I want you to pay attention to this calendar, which is different than the calendar that you have on Canvas. By the way, 4, you can make it 2. You can change the number of weeks. I'm going to go back to 4. And as you can see, an assignment is due pretty much right away. And then look at the coloring. The color is red. That means it's due very fast. Then it becomes orange. And this is green. I want to explain something about this. The exam takes place on the 22nd, the first exam. But all of these assignments are due and lumped together the day before that. The reason I've done that, because in the past there have been cases that students couldn't do the job in a timely fashion because they were busy, they were working, they were juggling things. And so that's why I put it all the way up to here. However, please, 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 you make sure you do 1 or 2 assignments per day, because by the time you get there, if you want to do all of them, there is no way for you to finish. Okay? All right. Then we have module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Modules 1 to 5, just like the modules 1 to 5 in Canvas, corresponding to those, you come over here and you do your assignments. But what is module 0? Module 0, and I put it at top of the modules, as the name indicates, resources. Resources. First, this is the text, everybody. Again, it's available to you for free, and it is based on this one. The difference is this one is easier to navigate. For example, I can go to a specific chapter or section, but ultimately both of them are really the same. Okay, so that's the text. Then the information about the late pass, grade book, reviewing your assignment. For example, if assignment doesn't matter, homework or exam is passed to, and you want to review that, you click on the grade and you do so. Then a list of free online calculators and also video instruction. So let me go back up and close it. So module 0 of MOM, my OpenMath, consists of a bunch of resources. Okay. Okay, I want to make sure that I looked at everything here. Okay, and under that we also have chapter 1, which is the prerequisite. Please pay attention to that. Okay, this is not being graded, everybody. Okay, this is also support for the course. Okay, if you click on a section, it gives you the objectives, it gives you the reading material, it gives you some videos, and then you see some assignments, okay, that are not being graded. Everybody, the assignments for chapter 1 called prerequisites. Those assignments are not being graded. So why are they here? Just as what you found in Canvas is for your support, okay? I hope everybody is following that. And that's part of module 0, where it has all types of resources, everybody. Now, module 1 is where you get started. Chapter 2, section 2.1. You see the objectives. You see where you can find the text, video lessons, the video assignment. This is what you do first, and then the practice assignment. The video assignment, as the name indicates, it does give you a few videos and some questions to get you started with the topic of interest, okay? The practice test, so you do the video assignment first. The practice test, it gets a little bit more involved. You've done the video lecture first, and now you can easily handle this. Some of these questions also have help. So I'm doing number 1. If I find for any reason difficult to do so, I can see the video help here. The next one also has a help. Same thing here. Some of them do, some of them don't. Okay. But most of the homework questions, they do have video help. Okay. So in short, your work starts with module 1. You expand the chapter of interest. This is the reading material. If you don't need it, so be it. This is the video lessons. If you don't need it. And in some cases, students just go through those videos. You can watch those or my lectures or both. I highly recommend for the first couple of sections, do both and decide what works the best for you. Then we have the video assignment and the practice assignment. So just to give you an idea how this thing works, I'm going to look at this one quickly. The purpose of this is to get you ready for to work with my open math. So it says enter this number. The moment I click this blank, it opens up a math palette if I need to use that. So in this case, I just have to put 78.0361. So I put the number. The second one says use the same number, but this time round it to the nearest hundreds. Okay. So 78.03 goes up to 4. The reason it does, because next to 3, we see number 6. The next one says divide by 0. As you know, it's undefined. They don't have it. We're going to go with D and E, which says, okay, I did 2 times. D and E or does not exist. Now, what do I do? If you submit question class, it tells you if you're right or wrong. Check marks obviously say, okay, we did it right. For the second question, you want to round this, and it says enter 4 decimals or more, okay? So it's 0.3 bar. Let's answer it wrong. Let's answer 0.3. And it says it's wrong because we were, first of all, it's 0.3 bar, and that means you have to put many threes, and they're asking for how many here? Again, 4 or more. So what do? If I get a similar question, it happened to give me the same one. Now this time 0 point, and I put a bunch of threes, and I submit the question. Notice, check mark, I got my point. And that's what I mean. You have several attempts, many attempts. So I don't see any reason why anyone would get anything less than 100%, 95% or so. Something comes up, I can't continue. I'm going to click done. So automatically it puts those grades for me. So I have 15.4%. And anytime I resume, I can continue as long as it's before the due date, or I can exit. So I can come back to that. So a quick recap of what we did, and let me leave the student mode here. So the homepage, we looked at the homepage that has a welcoming message, class philosophy, announcements. We looked at the syllabus, and in order to get to the class, right here, we have to look at Tech Connect, Zoom, and Join, which is different than the office hours at the bottom of this page, two different things. And under the discussion forum, we have student bios and frequently asked questions. Under the Math Success Center, we have the information for the tutoring lab. And under the modules, Module 1, Exam 1 is what we are concerned with for now, which has the practice test, PowerPoints, and the key to practice test. The rest of them repeat. And the last one is for the calculator information, and that's a resource. And at the very top, the first one is where we go to do to get to My Open Math, do our homework. The next one is the recorded practice test that pertain to module 1 of this course. And the next one is the support topic for Math 45. I hope everybody's okay with that. It's very straightforward. Okay. I wish everybody best of luck.